We're talking Invincible, episode 6. You look horrible. A lot happened in the end of episode 5. Obviously, with the Conquest Mark fight, everyone was talking about it. We talked about it, but we got a lot going on here. So, obviously, the war begins. We have Oliver finally getting some much needed training, and we have a Thrag sighting as he joins the action. This is Minor League Films. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, and share if you don't mind. Without further ado, let's jump into it. So, Scotty, a lot going on in this episode 6. Obviously, we know the recovering of episode 5. Obviously, you got Tech Jacket and Alan on the ship, still holding out there. And obviously, Mark is recovering. I talked about a lot on our last episode review that I'm surprised he's still alive after all that. But like you said, you compared it to like Saiyans. Basically, if he doesn't die, he will recover. And Omni-Man confirms that at the beginning of this episode. So we start back with Thetis, and I was going to call him Thaddeus. I'm just so used to that name, Thetis. And basically, he says, look, we lost a couple of allies, but ain't no more time to waste. It's time to go to war. And we have the coalition going against the Viltrumites to start here as that goes. So the war actually begins. We actually get some fighting, a lot of action this episode.
Yeah, Optimus Prime does not care about anybody but this war. Like, Optimus is just giving speeches, but they ain't the same Optimus speeches we're used to. It's all violence. Hey, this is how we're going to kill the war. He wakes up in the morning, his breakfast is violence. We didn't see him eat yet. Well, we've seen him fight, finally.
Yeah, which is good, and we'll cover that a little later. So the war is going on, and they feel like if they can flip enough people from the Viltrumite Empire, they can really turn the tide here. While that is going on, we finally get Oliver actually learning what to do. So he's stuck with Omni-Man, which obviously is a rough situation because we didn't know this the previous couple episodes, but Oliver actually heard what Debbie and Omni-Man were talking about, where he disrespected Oliver's mom and said, hey, that was a mistake. You're the one I truly loved. And we didn't know that, so I thought that was a nice little twist. But obviously we know what's going to happen. Obviously Oliver needs a lot of training because he was just a liability in that earlier fight. And obviously, too, we got to get these guys back together because everybody ain't on the same side here. We're going to have some problems. So we got to get him better. We got to get it back. And I thought there was some good, I guess, family-ish moments. I mean, we even get a montage, and I have that a little later in the episode. We even get a montage where the war is going on and Oliver's training, but I do like those scenes.
Yeah, it's about time that Oliver and Omni-Man get some bonding time in the episodes. Much needed bonding time. Clearly, he got trained over a few months, and then you get to see that Omni-Man is at least able to be changed or willing to be changed when they're going to try to find food. And Oliver shows, the Omni-Man has a softer side, so that's nice.
Yeah, I love the I guess the quote off the episode, but he said, "Look, I'll try to be a good guy, but I'm realizing how hard it actually is to do this after recovering for all the stuff I've done before, and even talking about it, we know how bad Conquest was and what he did on planet Earth, and Oliver's like, yeah, even as bad as Conquest was, the only person they hate more than him is you. So we go with there, but I do like that they're the training aspect. I mean, obviously." They get the bond. They're obviously hunting for food and fighting the bug, but it's cool to see Oliver, and hopefully we can level him up, because I said it last episode, him and Tech Jacket are really just liabilities, and I'm like, it's a little late in the game to have liabilities, and
yeah,
I guess it'd be kind, if they do it right, I guess it will kind of be cool to have them grow throughout this war as it's going on and develop a little bit as characters, because it's like in one version we don't have time for that, but in two it gives them another storyline versus just a straight all-out brawl.
Yeah, I haven't read much past this part because I've been trying not to spoil the whole story for myself, but everybody ends up growing, and mentally and physically. We see how much Mark has grown. Mark went from getting his ass whooped every episode, every time he fought anybody, to now at least being able to stand up to some Viltrumites. Like we have, I forgot his name. I know it's Crag, and it's not Vulcan. I can't remember the black dude's name, but you can see that they were trading punches, and Mark wasn't just getting beat down.
Yeah, no, that and they kind of talk about that. Like you think about Mark from the where he was when the first time they fought Conquest to like now he was actually able to kill him, and that just shows how much he's grown in a short amount of time. And with Oliver, the way he grows and as he ages so quickly, because he makes a moment in this episode that I really like, where he's like, where Omni-Man is like, well, Earth is your home. And he was like, well, it doesn't really feel like home. Like, I grow so fast. Like, the time I did make friends, I was so much older than them in like a week. And I couldn't even like hang out with them anymore. So it really, like, without Omni-Man there and just following Mark around and trying to deal with the public. Unlike Mark, who can age slowly and regularly like the other humans, he can't. And I thought that was a good element to add. Like, he is there and you feel like he's part of the family, but he also has that isolation because he's the only one that's a different type of alien that really doesn't, I guess, I would say, resemble, there we go, resemble humans.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, I believe his Viltrumite side is going to take over most of his body, so he's going to just age like a Viltrumite and look like Viltrumite. And you know, Viltrumites, the older they get, the slower they age. So they start out aging normally. By the time they get to be like 100 or something, they're aging terribly, terribly slow. I think Theta said, how old does Theta say? You say like 800 years old, 1,000 years old, something like that.
I don't know for sure, but I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, it's a Omni-Man would been around for like almost 1,000 years, so I wouldn't be surprised if Thetis is the same. I don't think he's probably a little older. He's probably even older because he's the only one that actually looks old.
Yeah, so I think his Viltrumite DNA is about to just overwhelm the other side anyway.
Yeah. So, and I think too in the comics, the older he goes, the less he looks like that alien species he was a part of, and more he just looks like an old guy. Because a lot of people, it was and I don't know why this becomes a conversation, but obviously he gets lighter and starts to look more like human. They're like, oh, he got whitewashed. And it's like, no, the comics has that too. He starts to look more like
I like that. No, I like that.
It is kind of funny, but it is like the comics, so I guess you can't hate on it too much. But yeah, so we have that montage going on, but with the coalition going to war, I think we do in kind of the middle of the episode, we do get a good lot of action sequences here. And one of my favorites, Space Racer, is back. So Tech Jacket and Alan, while they're on there being children as they are, playing a video game the whole time stuck up there, even though you can't be mad at them because what the heck else are they going to do on that ship? They decided to make a run for it at Glacier. Is it Glacier Bay? No, Glacier Prime. So they said, when they get to that planet coalitions there, we can escape. Obviously, try to do that, and the Viltrumites, the two that they've been fighting, are on their tail. And it looks like, and Tech Jacket, look, she like, look, I can't fight these two. I'm out of here. Good luck, Alan. And he's just getting his
I can't wait till Tech Jacket gets a little bit better, because as of right now, she does well against all the rest of the soldiers that are around. But when it comes to Viltrumite, she's like, yeah, I'll just be in the back. Yeah, you just stay. She's the person who needs to be in the back at all times, because she couldn't even fly fast enough when she said maximum thrust on her suit. If she was still flying the same speed to me, I was like, well, you know what? Just throw it in the trash at this point. Throw it in the trash, make a new one.
Yeah, I feel like you need a better suit, obviously. And I wonder that too, because her suit is so in line with her powers. How, you may know this, and people who've read the comics may know, but I don't know right now. How are they going to continue to develop this character and how she's going to get stronger and train? Oh, because that's the difference. Oliver, we know, and I even feel like there's a gap between her and Oliver, and we know Oliver grows fast, so that gap is gonna grow. But you at least feel like he can get some hits in and he'll do all right. Tech Jacket is like, yeah, you might as well just run. So I wonder how they're going to develop the strength of that character.
Well, I believe it's kind of like Blue Beetle from DC. Like when a teenager's just getting to know the suit, they don't know everything the suit can do. But as it goes on, I'm pretty sure she's going to learn a lot about that suit and how powerful it is, about more defense options, offense options, stuff like that. I don't know when, because I remember in the comics she had her own run. This is Invincible, so I don't know if they're going to show that in her own episode, or they're just going to randomly show her in the next season, and she's gonna be better.
Yeah, and maybe she'll even get a feature film like Adam Eve.
Maybe.
But yeah, so we got that going on. But the surprise cameo of Space Racer shows up, and like you said, his gun can destroy anything, and it goes right through the Viltrumite as he's getting there. So it's good to see him. Obviously, we have it's a Battle Beast. I don't know his name, but yeah, Battle Beast. He shows up, obviously wanting to fight the Viltrumites, and you hear from Thrag himself that he's like, look, they're taking us out one by one. We got to change it up. We got to do something different. And obviously their plan is to attack. And I'm going to ask you for the name. I forget the name of the planet. But they want to attack the coalition right where Thetis is and attack that planet. And like we talked about earlier, they did have a mole. No one knew who it was, but they do have a mole that will allow them to get on that planet and attack them. So that's kind of their plan going forward, going to there while Oliver and Omni-Man, all of them are training. So he actually pulled that out because he's like, look, we get cooked and people are flipping and this ain't going well for us.
Yeah, I just think Alan should be stronger than he is. You know, they talk about he recovered and he got such a strength boost and whatnot. Like, and he ain't showing it too well because he struggles with every and anybody.
Yeah, I mean, even you felt like, I guess Invincible was weaker at the time. Even when he fought Invincible, he was like, and Invincible's not weak by any means. Now he's not with the other Viltrumites, but that was before even Thetis had messed him up so he can heal up and become a lot stronger. So I do wonder why they are kind of holding back on him being, I guess, and take on 2 maybe a bit much, but at least take on a Viltrumite, because I feel like he can't beat anybody of that level. He's supposed to be one of the people we're supposed to rely on. So because right now it feels like, well, we got Mark, we got Omni-Man, Battle Beast, Space Racer, that's about it.
Yeah.
And Strauss get them from there. So I do hope they level up that character, because we did spend a ton of time on that and hold that whole recovery, and now I'm really strong now. And everybody, oh, you got stronger. And then also too, let's not forget, he went on the prison ship of the Viltrumites and broke out of there with no problem. So it's
didn't have any issues at all. Now he's having problems with the low level. Well, I guess I can't call him low level, because I guess there's only 50 left, so all of them have to be high level, just not as high as Conquest, Anissa, and Thrag. But still, like, sir, you can take hits from Nolan. You can take you should be able to dish it out to the rest of these Viltrumites. But I know I've seen, like, I don't really go by panels people show. I don't trust people online anyway. I usually read the books myself. But I've seen panels of him at the end, and I believe someone was saying towards the end of the comic book series that he is as strong or stronger than Mark is. I can't remember.
All right. Well, hopefully they do level him up. I feel like they're selling that character short. But yeah, so Thrag decides, he said, hey, we're losing enough. I'm not doing all this. And like I said, we know he has a mole on the planet. They've talked about that multiple times in a couple different episodes. So he said, hey, we're gonna take the battle from them. If we can wipe out Thetis, there goes the coalition, because there's a scene in here where the coalition is kind of complaining. Now, one, I don't know why they're complaining, because it feels like if you're going to go to war with the Viltrumites, you're going to suffer heavy losses regardless. But the point is, they control the universe and just make you do whatever you want. So it's like, if you want to get out of slavery, basically, you're going to have to take them down. So them all sitting there complaining about, I didn't know we're going to suffer these kind of losses, was pointless to me. It's stupid. But Data seems to be the one holding it all together, saying, hey, we got them down. There's only a certain number. We can wipe them out right now, as him and Omni-Man have mentioned. So, yeah, they're about that plan. Thrag decides to take the battle to them, and we find out who the mole is, because he just hits the one switch, and there goes the air defenses, which is like, you just had one quick button just to take out all of the. There's not even anybody looking. There's no people in space.
Like, his only job was to keep that button safe.
That was the one part of the episode where I'm like, okay, now that's silly. But so just hit the switch off on the air defenses, and they come to the planet and just start blowing stuff up, obviously. So we finally get to see Thetis fight, which we've been waiting for, and obviously he can fight pretty well. He fights the guy with the, I remember the guys with the eyeglass name. Probably knows his name.
Craig, I think. Craig, I think it's Craig.
Okay, so we get to see him fight him, but it all goes down there with all of them basically fighting. Lucky for them, right on time. Flip back to the other planet. Mark is finally healing. Oliver's training is, getting there. So they're all kind of bonding back on the same page here. So they go over. Also, too, had a good emotional moment where Mark woke up, thought everybody might be dead, and they weren't. So it was a good little family moment there. But heck with that, we got a war going on. So they go over to the planet, and obviously a full-fledged fight goes on with a lot of stuff going on now. Do love the action here. I think the action is really good. I love also how they throw some strategy in there with the action. But there is one main thing when I got to this and got with you that I wanted to talk about. We do all this. We got the Viltrumites fighting. Everybody's in here fighting. A lot is going on. Planet getting destroyed. Destruction. Mark and Oliver say, hey, we got to take that ship out. Fly up, bust through the ship. Cool scene. Cool action piece. I love how they do the still shot in there. Blow up the ship, which Thrag is on. But we don't get to see Thrag fight. And I'm like, I thought this was the scene where Thrag would come out, punch Thetis through the head, like kill somebody and be like, all right, we got to go recover on the planet. But, this is just what I could do. I was waiting for that moment the entire episode, because I didn't think he was there at first. I was like, oh, he's back, or he's on some ship. He's not on the planet. He just sent them down there. But no, he's there. We don't even get to see what Thrag can do. It was a major disappointment for me.
I wasn't disappointed, because I know that it's going to be, you got to wait till the last 2 episodes to see Thrag really throw down. We got to see all the stuff in between with all the rest of the characters fighting their forces first. I figured he wasn't going to fight. And Thrag is a crackhead. So you saw when the ship was exploding, and he's been spending all of his free time not training, not eating protein, been talking to the head of his former king. So when that ship was destroyed, he was ready to throw hands, but he said, "Oh man, I gotta get that crack on the floor." So the skull fell on the floor. He said, "Man, now he's depressed. He doesn't have his drug of choice. He had to go back home." That makes sense to me.
I mean, I'm not disappointed that he didn't get into a full-fledged fight because I don't want to see that. Because obviously, there's a full-fledged fight right there. It could be the end of the season. You might as well just cap that in the show, in the show right there. So I didn't expect all that. I just expect to get a glimpse of what he can do. But you're also right. You do feel like he has this sense of crazy, and maybe more than any of the other Viltrumites. Yeah, they're terrorists. They're conquerors. They do all this, but it feels like their mind is in order and they have a strategic plan that they're going for. You're right. Thrag is talking to this skull of the former king. He's holding on to the past, trying to rebuild this empire. And he does feel like in some way he's kind of crazy and like unstable. So I wonder if they're going to play with that later on in the season. But that was just my one disappointment. I want to see. So let me know in the comments if you want to see Thrag fight, or were you disappointed, or you're okay just waiting to see what he could do. Because I'm sure at some point in the next 2 episodes, we're going to get to see what he could do. So not a long wait, but I was like, dang, just punch Thetis through the heart, have him have to recover or something and dip out of there. And I'm good to see. I just want to see anything he can do. But yeah, so they obviously win there, and you can tell the mind difference between Thetis and Alan and all the rest of them. But he's like, this is a war. I've been preparing for this for a long time, and yeah, we just lost a bunch of people who really can't help us beat the Viltrumites. So, I'm okay with that. But other than that, like, let's move forward. And the rest of them are like, oh my God, like, we just lost terrible losses. Like, we're not ready for this, even though we thought we were.
Yeah, and he just in Optimus Prime. This is evil Optimus Prime, and he just like, nah. What we gotta do is right now, this instant, everybody suit up. Omni-Man, please put some shoes on, and we're gonna go to the planet and whoop ass. Because first of all, why does Omni-Man have no shoes on for the last 5 episodes?
I never brought it up, but I have thought about that.
With some shoes, I mean, he's just stepping on everything. I'm like, come on, man. At this point, it's a nitpick, but at the same time, I keep seeing stupid looking feet on the screen all day, every day. Everybody else has a full body suit. Why did they make you a suit with no feet on it? No bottoms.
Yeah. I mean, and that suit feels too small. It's like they couldn't make you one that fits. Like that's why stop at his knee. I'm like, you couldn't give him a full suit, some socks and some shoes and maybe some gloves.
It's a summer outfit. So, but just shoes.
It's just so contrary because on Earth he wore the most you could. He had everything besides the identity sealer or a helmet. Like that's about the only thing he didn't have, and he never took that off. And here he barely got nothing on, and ain't washed that suit in weeks. So hopefully he'll get that together. But yeah, I agree as a nitpick, but I have thought about that. But yeah, wrapping up this episode, moving forward, I thought this was a good episode as far as the action. It's cool to see Battle Beast back and Space Racer. You feel like they're not all a collective unit yet, but we did see that scene. I think it was in the trailer where they all bunched together. So I guess that will be on Planet Viltrum where they all get together and fight, which I think will be a cool scene. But yeah, and also we got to see Anissa. She was back fighting for just a little bit, but throwing tech jacket through every building she could find. I thought that was cool. So a lot of good action so far. I think they're really nailing this. They have a lot going on, but I think they're sneaking in little moments to kind of, I don't want to say humanize because we're dealing with an intergalactic, war, but moment to keep this very still and like very grounded, as you say, and emotionally grounded with they do feel the losses and stuff they're dealing with. So I do like that. But yeah, for me, still a high price of admission. A little nicks in there that I don't like, and obviously you had that 4th episode where I just felt was okay, but I think a high price admission as far for the season through 6 episodes.
Yeah, I give the same high price of admission. I didn't think the episode 4 was needed at all. That's really my only complaint. Maybe I would like to see some more, since they have changed some things, some small little things. I would have liked them to add some more scenes with Anissa or other Viltrumites, but that's okay. I mean, I'm sure we'll get that in the next season. Or in seasons going forward. Is it 7 seasons they said?
I know season 6 is already greenlit. I don't know about, or no, season 4. So season 5 is already greenlit, and then I think so. It might be a 6, like a full 6.
Okay, yeah. So we'll
don't quote me on that
more because that's pretty much all I think they have left to do is show more Viltrumite action, show Mark and Oliver grow up. So that'll be nice to see. So I'm just hoping for a banger of last 2 episodes.
Yeah, close it out strong, and I was going to go playing at Viltrum. So, and I'm pretty sure it won't be the end of the Viltrumites, but at least we'll get to see some action. Maybe we'll get to see Thrag do what he does, because I think I almost can guarantee that I put my house on the hill, make it out the season, and be okay, and get the excitement ready for next season. But in the comments, let me know what do you think about what you think about the episode, and where would you rate it so far. We'll have our scale in the bio, so if you want to rate it how we do, you can put it there, or do what you want. But all that good stuff, enjoying it so far. Scotty, people saw us here on YouTube, and hopefully they liked that video, shared it, and hit the comment section, and subscribe. Don't forget that. But there are other places and they want to find us. Where can they do that at?
You can find me on the solo channel, Kuronocomics. You can find us on MLF Shorts, all platforms. You can find Minor League Films on all platforms, even in Gmail.
There you go. Email us if you got something to say. Yeah, all that good stuff. Don't forget, like the video. Everything is down in the bio. And we got Daredevil. we got The Boys just came out. Euphoria comes out this weekend. A ton of shows. Faces of Death coming out this weekend. So we got a ton of content coming to you. We got reviews from movies last week and have done all the shows up until now. Should be in a playlist for you. There you go. So do all that good stuff. We will catch you next time.